Mallory, how would you feel about an entire episode where we talk about Miss America? Let's get into it. I'm Maggie Gelson Burnett.
And I'm Mallory Hagan. This is Pretty Furious.
Pew, pew, pew. Welcome to our first deep dive. That's paywall.
Wow, what a subject matter.
Some untold stories gonna happen today.
Untold stories, philosophical thoughts, ties to a cult?
Some hot goss. Some hot goss for sure. Today we're doing our first official deep dive under the Siren Network, but we have always done these deep dives. We're doing our first deep dive on nothing other than Miss America. And if you are listening and you maybe are new here and you don't know mine or Mallory's background, we both have a history with the Miss America organization, chief being that Mallory was Miss America 2013. And a very fun fact is that that was my first time ever attending Miss America. It was in Vegas. And I was, I don't know, 16, almost 17 maybe.
Oh my God,
or
age
17.
me. Jesus.
And I was, oh God, I mean, I was, age you, age me. Oh my God, I was a toddler. I went to Miss America and I loved Mallory Hagan. I was so excited that she won. And Mariah Carey, who was the Miss Iowa at the time.
My heart.
We were
I love Mariah Carey.
Local title holders together. I was Teen Miss Muscatine. She was Miss Muscatine. She went on to win Miss Iowa. I was first runner-up to Teen Miss Iowa that year. Fucking loser. And went out to Miss America to go watch her. Mariah was fourth runner-up and Mallory won. And it was a time where I just was like so in it. I was so like, you know the movie Beautiful with Minnie Driver, where they like write down scores of like Miss Americas and stuff like that. Like that was me. Like I was so obsessed with Miss America at that time. So I knew all the contestants. I knew more about you, Mallory,
Then maybe I knew about myself.
100%. Yeah, girl, it was creepy. So yeah, that was my first time ever attending a Miss America, and Mallory won. It was very cool.
How crazy.
Yeah.
What a time.
So today we're going to talk about a little bit of history of Miss America, a little bit of like the recent MAGAification question mark of Miss America, and obviously both of our experiences within pageantry kind of more broadly. Yeah. So let's start, Mallory, with a question that I really would just love for you to give us some context on.
Okay.
Do you think that Miss America is MAGA coded?
Absolutely. I absolutely do. And what's crazy to me is now that we're in the year of Beyonce 2026, I look back on decades now of participation from myself, my mom, my grandmother was a choreographer for Miss Tennessee. I mean, 3 generations involved in the Miss America organization. And I realized that it kind of always has been.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate both within Miss America and certainly externally about whether or not it is feminist or not, whether or not the areas of competition are empowering or not. And so I think that there was a short stint in the program where there was an effort to really place empowerment and leadership and community service at the forefront of what was being communicated externally in marketing. And the people who are diehard Miss America fans hated that. So there's your answer.
That's so
They
interesting.
really hated hearing women talk on stage. They hated it so much that they went back. They swung all the way back in the other direction.
What's crazy is that that was actually around the time that I was probably most immersed in the Miss America organization, was like 2017, 2018. And 2018, I was first runner up to Miss Iowa. And I remember thinking to myself, they announced Gretchen Carlson as the chairwoman for Miss America later that summer, I think. And I remember being, or maybe it was the summer before, excuse me. And I remember being so excited that that was going on. I remember being so thrilled that somebody who had a similar kind of background or history that I felt connected to. She had her whole Roger Ailes thing with Fox News. My platform was sexual assault education and prevention, so I felt really connected to that. So when she took over, I was like, this is fucking it, man. Like, I'm so hype about this. And then we tried to do Miss America 2.0. So if you're unfamiliar with the Miss America system, we had Miss America 1.0, which was like up until 2017, essentially, where we had the swimsuit competition, we had talent, interview, onstage question, evening gown. And then Miss America 2.0 was trying to be ushered in, most notably, I would say, involving the removal of the swimsuit competition. So, yeah, I remember that was a hot topic for a lot of people, like, and even myself at the time. I think I even felt like, why are we taking away swimsuit? Like, and I was, let's also be clear, that was some internalized misogyny that I had not yet worked through.
And there you go.
So I just want to make that clear. That is not how I feel now. But like, I remember being like, I won swimsuit at Miss Iowa twice and being like, why the fuck are they removing this element of competition? What's the best way that we could determine the health of a woman who's trying to interview to do this job? So that was kind of the time frame when it all sort of changed, and certainly was impacted later on by political factors and Donald Trump. So yeah, I think the MAGA of it all is very present.
Yeah, I think Trump is a nice segue to just talk just briefly a little bit about the history of the program for those people who might be listening, who I would imagine a lot of folks are going to come to this episode that we do know from Miss America. So if you're a person who understands the history of this program, take a breather. I don't know, but
skip to the next chapter, girl.
If you're not a person who's been involved in this and entrenched in it for a long time, Miss America started in 1921 on the boardwalk of Atlantic City. It was at that time, I think it was like America's Most Beautiful. And, it was like the Golden Mermaid competition. And it was and something entirely different than it is today. And it has evolved over 100+ years, as anything and any institution or organization does. So what I think is most interesting about that time frame that you were just referring to in the program, which has caused so much strife within the very small community that is Miss America. But I do think it speaks to a larger divide in our country. I think it's a microcosm of where we are politically. But Miss America has always been changing. Miss America has never been the same thing every year, every competition.
Right.
It changes with the times, with the decades, with, what's socially acceptable, what's politically happening. All of that has shifted year to year. That to me was almost the most surprising part of all of the blowback from within Miss America to get rid of swimsuit, because technically, yes, Miss America did start as a swimsuit competition on the boardwalk of Atlantic City, but over the years we added things like the platform and we added scholarship assistance, and all of those things have evolved and changed time and time again. The way they're scored has changed. What's been allowed on stage has changed. And so getting rid of swimsuit just for so many people felt so sacrilegious. However, having done the job of Miss America, and I was happy to speak to the media about this because I feel very strongly about it. Having done the job of Miss America, I actually signed a contract that said, not ever throughout the course of the time that I represented the Miss America organization as Miss America was I allowed to appear in public in an official capacity in a swimsuit. So I had to basically eat chicken and broccoli and brown rice for months and months and months, work out with a trainer, pay all of that money into investing in my health. And let's be very honest, nothing about what the women do to compete in swimsuit is healthy.
Fuck no. Oh my God.
it might be healthy to start and then